Hi everyone, so this is my Sydney Writers Festival adventure story part 1, and this is for the Saturday, which would have been May 21st? May 21st? Yes. Anywho's, I had never attended the Sydney Writers Festival before, and in previous years I've always berated myself afterwards thinking, why didn't I go? And it's usually just that I never knew about it. I didn't know what the itinerary was, I didn't know what writers were lined up and what events were going on. And so this year I made sure to check it out. And this was the final weekend, so it's finished now. And it was really cool because there was there was Cassandra Clare on the Saturday and then Christian Cashaw on the Sunday, and I thought that's perfect. I'll head on down. So we did. And it was really cool to get to explore it. It's like the festival itself is kind of spread throughout the centre of the city, but where I was going I was very familiar. It was at the Rocks, at the Sydney Dance Company and Sydney Theatre Company, kind of housed there in all their studios and rehearsal rooms and whatnot. And I was very familiar with that place, so it was cool. It was all set up, lots of flags flying and different stalls everywhere. I saw you could get authors were sitting down and they'd paint your portrait where you'd sit there in front of them and they'd type up a little description about you, which is both cool and terrifying. I wouldn't have done that, but it looked like people were having fun. And I saw tons of authors and famous people just sitting around chilling, having discussions and coffees and all that. Peter Carey, who's quite a famous Australian author, he was just hanging out, talking to people. And I saw Kate Morton, who wrote The Forgotten Garden, which I really enjoyed. She was there talking to people, and different TV and film folk, all just hanging out, which was cool. Yeah, and there was also a little store that they'd set up selling all the books that were written, or the latest releases from authors that were being featured in the festival. So it was cool. You could go and get books and then you could get them signed later on and that. So yes, I got there and I hunted down where I needed to be. And it was really funny because it was easy to spot because the demographic of the general population of people attending the festival dropped significantly when I found my group, because they were all for the most part, all female and teens or tweens, or around my age group, I suppose. I just had to laugh to myself because everyone else lining up for events, 30, 40, 50 upwards, and then it's just this, young girls. So yeah, and I kind of I braced myself. I thought, jeepers, they're all going to be Jace lovers, which they were for the most part, and everyone was talking about it. And, Jace, and everyone was discussing what was going on in the stories to themselves, and I was on my own because my friend couldn't come with me till the Sunday, so it was just me going solo. And yeah, so yeah, lining up, when we finally got into the room, it was a shame because other events they'd been allotted rooms that had 400 seat capacity, and for whatever reason we were in a smaller studio. It was just a rehearsal space, and it was maybe 120 seat capacity, which for Cassandra Clare in any other context, like in the US, would be ridiculous because you'd need much more room. But I thought, the Mortal Instruments are still fairly popular here. But, whatever. So at least 100 people, I think, missed out on getting to go in, which is a shame. Luckily, I got there in time. So yeah, she talked for about half hour. It was just an hour long thing. So yeah, about half hour talking and then some question and answer time. And I was honestly frickin' hell. I had my hands up the entire time. And straight up, I wasn't doing one of those hesitant, shy thingies. It was straight up. I was assertive and she didn't pick me. She kept looking at me, I swear I'm not kidding. Her eyes would meet mine, then she'd look away. Her eyes would meet mine, she'd look away. I'm like, damn it, woman! Because almost all the questions were inane, stupid. I was getting a headache from the questions that were being asked. I kid you not. So, do you get any input on the casting of the movie? So, well, who do you think should play the characters in the movie? So, do you think Alex Pettifer should play Jace in the movie? I'm not kidding. No. Oh, so what was your inspiration for Jace? What do you think Jace's storylines are going to be in the future? So, yeah, I was just shaking my head at it all. Cassie herself was cool. I mean, she always is. I think it's a shame that I've kind of watched other question and answer videos and stuff with her in the past, because some of the anecdotes she shared, sitting there all, bitter and cynical like thinking, oh, I've heard this story before. I know what this story is. But it was cute to hear her reference all her New York writer friends. You know, she referenced Holly a million times. Obviously, they're writing partners. She referenced Maureen Johnson a few times. And I think John Green got a mention. And Sarah Reese Brennan got a mention as well. So yeah, that was cool. And then luckily she did do a signing afterwards. It was, I'm pretty sure that the like 100 plus people that didn't get into the talk probably already formed the line for the signing, because literally we all like raced to get to where we needed to go to get the book signed, and there was already a really long line. But bless her, she like made sure that everyone knew that she was staying for as long as it took to sign everyone's books. I think the people at the front of the line got to get photos and stuff with her. That was probably taking too long, because about halfway through they came out and said, not taking photos anymore. And we had to get our books already, so she could go quickly through it. So when I finally got there, I just said howdy. And the first thing she asked me was, who's your favourite character? And I said, Magnus. And she like did the double take. She was like going to write, and she was like, oh, you're Team Glitter. And I'm like, yes I am. Damn straight. I think she was shocked by that. I really would not want to think I was pegged for a Jace fan, but yeah, Magnus. And so she wrote appropriately in my book, for an A, Team Glitter, Cassandra Clare. Damn straight on Team Glitter. We're not talking about sparkling stuff, Edward. We're talking about actual glitter that you have to physically put on yourself to look cool. Yeah, so that was cool. And she told me that the friend that she based the character of Magnus on, who she used to go partying with, he's moved to New Zealand, which is cool. And she said he didn't take any glitter with him. And I said, well, probably it's not needed, because New Zealand's so beautiful, he'll just soak it all up. And she agreed. So that was cool. So that was my Saturday adventure at the Sydney Writers' Festival. And it was enjoyable enough. I think I just wish it probably would have been better if I had had a friend with me, I suppose. I could have been, like, someone to share all my snarky comments with whenever I was feeling world-weary from the fangirling of the younger crowd. And yeah, my Jace hatred was rising throughout the day. But it was still cool, and I'm really glad I went. And I will give you my account of my Sunday expedition in the next video.